Hey Scorpio, I'm Empress Rose and welcome to your reading. These are general readings. So we take what works, we leave what doesn't. And if I don't catch your wavelength or storyline on this reading, you can check your other major placements. If I do catch your wavelength or storyline on this reading, you can join me over on Vimeo for an extended reading if you so choose. We're going to do the straight tarot reading, the more traditional layout here, and then we'll do some oracle cards and other things over on Vimeo later. So let's hop to it. Let's see here. From the bottom of the deck, 10 of Swords. Good grief, I hate this card. What? This is like, this artist really went way too far on this card. MJ Cullinane, I'll be using several different decks of hers, and I love her and adore her, but this 10 of Swords is brutal. So this is the end of a difficult cycle, a painful cycle. She's like lost her baby bird. It's just too much here. And that's, I think, what we're getting at with the 10 of Swords. It's been too much. Some sort of threshold of pain has been crossed. This is just too much to bear, too much pain and frustration. If someone's been verbally abusive or talking behind your back, it's reached its maximum level. So the good thing about the 10 of Swords is it's reached its maximum level, and there's not much more in this situation after this. They ran out of swords is why it's done. Not because they changed or became good people, but just time was up or the situation ended or something like that, where they just can't cause you pain. But look, the mama bird's just crying here in this gruesome scene. A lot of loss, a lot of sadness, a lot of pain. All right, let's hope for a better rest of the reading. That's the overall. We're talking about a painful situation that's coming to an end. So the end part, I mean, this is the darkest before it's always darkest before the dawn. So this is the darkest part of the situation that we are facing. So it's not your whole life. It's not every situation. You're never going to experience pain. It's like this situation is coming to completion. There's not a much more ways in which you can be hurt here. So Scorpio, this is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, to-do list, possible outcome. All right, we have a couple like very familiar cards here, very familiar cards that have repeated throughout the week. I think Virgo got this one. We've got, in the same position, which is what's interesting to me, we've got the 9 of Cups here. We have this peacock, this joy, this sort of showing off, like having accomplished something and wanting the world to see it. So in your past, you accomplished something, you were quite proud of it. This, it reminds me of trophies. It could be like a trophy wife, a trophy spouse, a trophy job. It looks really good. People admire it. You're showing it off. You're using it to attract other people to your situation. There's a lot of happiness and joy here, but there's also definitely, especially the way Cullinane depicts it, we've got a peacock showing off, letting everybody see. So it wasn't a private victory. It was very public, and that might have been part of the joy, is being able to show off this thing. That's not wrong. We are creatures of community, and we like to share our joy with our community, and we like to receive the admiration of our community. As creatures of community, our survival has depended upon the admiration of our community. So it's not something weird or bad to want at all. So current situation, we have 10 of Pentacles. A lot of people show up and we're like, we have a 10, a 9, a 10, an 8. It's like we're at the like bottom part of the tree of life, the Kabbalah. We're at the like, there is a lot of like endiness here. There's a lot of like winding something down, end of a journey, end of a trip here. So we have 10 of Pentacles in your current situation. Wow, 9 of Cups, so you're very proud. 10 of Pentacles, you've accomplished a lot. you've accomplished what you set out to accomplish. Ten of Pentacles can also be like an inheritance card, a completion card. So we have, right, the tens are our completion. We're done with the suit. We're done with that task. We're done with that issue. It's closing off. Hold on. Okay, so Ten of Pentacles. So something completing. This could be a project completing, where, you know, especially if you have your own business or you're an entrepreneur, this is something coming to a close here. You've done it. You've finished the semester. You've finished the project. It's completed. There will be no more, you know, wealth coming from that. So it can also be a retirement. It can be a, you know, that job has come to an end. And maybe you had an internship, or maybe you had a trial period and that's coming to an end, but something's completed. And we call it the inheritance card because Ten of Pentacles can be the you know, it's this, there's an enjoyment of the wealth. So you've accomplished quite a bit and you're enjoying it. It means that there's like no more making of the wealth, which is why it's inheritance. Whoever made the wealth is no longer available now to make the wealth. They're no longer here to make the wealth. So it's time to enjoy the wealth. There can also be an end of a project or something like that. Hold on. Okay, so so yeah, the wealth is to be enjoyed right now. The thing that you're so proud of that you've accomplished, maybe you got the dream job, the dream gig. It's sort of winding down, or it's accomplished as much as it can accomplish. With Ten of Pentacles, I can also see like, you've maxed out how far you can go with this job, how much it's going to be able to pay you, how much you enjoy it. That's reached its maximum amount. So both of this Ten of Swords and we have two tens here. Ten of Swords being difficult, painful situation. Everything else looks so beautiful. So there must be some sort of stinger inside this beautiful pot of honey here. And we do have bees here. So that's what there's some kind of stinging here. So even though you're very proud of it, even though you've accomplished quite a bit, there's some sort of painful part of it. Some sort of stinger is involved. And then we also have, the possibility that you've just maxed out a situation. It's right, just as this is as painful as it's going to get, this is as much wealth as available here, right? Like with an inheritance card too, we have somebody who who's not going to be making any more money and has maxed out their earning potential by now having passed on, and then it's just time to enjoy what you have. So enjoying what you have, having reached some sort of pinnacle in work or wealth or something in your material life. What's on your mind is Eight of Pentacles. So this is work. Continued work is on your mind. So maybe this project finished up and now you're looking ahead to what's next for work, or maybe you've maxed out with this job and you're looking ahead for more work. And maybe part of this job or part of this situation hasn't really represented you very well. Like you made a lot of money, you were very proud of it. But one of the aspects of Eight of Pentacles here that's in your inner landscape in your mind is that we're really thinking about how we can bring our truest self to the world. And look, we've got busy bees here, these bees representing these pentacles. So we've got these busy bees here being very busy and buzzing everywhere. Also with their stingers though, there's a sharpish part here. And this Eight of Pentacles talks about wanting to bring a part of who you are into the world, and not just like, yeah, you're fine with repetitive work as long as it represents you and what you want to do. So some things you've sort of maxed out, some sort of situation that you were proud of, right? We're always doing that. We always, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's how it's supposed to go. We get something, we level up, we get a new job. We're very proud of it. We're excited about it. And then a certain time down the line, we're like, I think I've grown as much as I can here. I think I've accomplished what I can here. I've maxed out my pay. There's not really any movement for growth. So work is on your mind as far as like maybe where you're going to go next or what you want to do after this sort of thing has maxed out. Or just, yeah, I've accomplished this. Yeah, I've done this, but I'd like to do something that's a little more meaningful to me. I'd like work that's more meaningful. I'd like to, or maybe, you know, if you have finished school, you're looking for work, you're thinking about work. Okay, this situation you got into, you know, your school of choice here, you completed this, and now you're looking at, you know, what your job is after you graduate. So, so thinking about Eight of Pentacles, thinking about work. Work is on the mind. And then what's at issue here is this Three of Cups. So this is feeling disconnected, not having a good time, feeling disconnected. Maybe you don't have any friends at work. Maybe you haven't been able to hang out with your friends. Maybe it's all work and no play, right? This whole top row here is accomplishment, thinking about further accomplishments, but there's no play here. There's no enjoyment. And maybe there's like no emotional connection, and that could be what's going on with this Eight of Pentacles here, is you're thinking about work that does have an emotional connection, work that you do feel good about, and work where you do have friends. Like maybe you have been working independently here and you're lonely and you're bored and you're not having a good time working by yourself. You're thinking about, you know, wanting to have some coworkers. They're pains in the asses, but they're also, you know, a connection to other people. So Three of Cups here in the reverse, not hanging out with friends. Maybe you've sacrificed hanging out with friends and some friendships for this work situation or for these accomplishments that we see in this top row. There could also be a coworker issues. Right, I was just talking about coworkers, maybe wanting coworkers, but maybe also like feeling disconnected from your coworkers, or not enjoying your coworkers right now. There's some social aspect with your work right now that you're really not enjoying, that is very upsetting, possibly very draining for you. Not a lot of fun. In your environment, this could be the coworker that's causing the problem. In your environment, we have Knight of Swords. So this whole top row is work, 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 work. We have painful situation coming to an end as the overall. Then we have this reverse Three of Cups, either not having friends at work or feeling some sort of social disconnect and social unrest and unhappiness. We have all this accomplishment and work up here, and then the bottom row is like all people. And these are my paper dolls, my little, you know, baseball cards. So we have Knight of Swords. Strong, opinionated person. They know what they think. They might be very rational, and they might have brought in some very sharpish words into an emotional situation. Sometimes rational words where they may be correct, they may be useful, but they may not be very sensitive or really acknowledging the depth of emotion that other people in the situation could be feeling. So this could be, right, we see this stinger here. We're seeing all these bees, and we see this sort of stinger that might be embedded in work. This person would not surprise me if this person's been really difficult, really sharpish to deal with, creating some social problems and emotional problems for you at work, some dissatisfaction and a sense of feeling disconnected. This person is the Knight of Swords. They bring in truth, but it's their truth. They could be just being overly rational for what's actually kind of an emotional situation. There's some emotional upset here, and this person's just in your environment, and they're male or female, but they're, yeah, I just want to say being very rational, very logical. They might be communicating very clearly, but it's a little sharp. It's a little sharp for the situation. Like the situation has this emotional tumult, but their mouth is, look at the teeth on this guy. Their mouth is like full of some sharp barbs. So someone with a bit of a sharp tongue, maybe being a little overly logical for the situation. I mean, I'm just seeing with this Ten of Swords here, they're a little difficult. And there's some pain involved. This could also be someone just bringing in their truth. Knights are about communication. Swords are about communication. So somebody here communicating. Swords are also about logic and rationality. So, and they can come in, it can be nice. It can clear up some emotional issues. It can, you know, clear out the clouds, bring some great clarity to a situation. But the swords can also be a little bit sharpish. And a Knight of Swords, they're very brave. Courageous, possibly bordering on reckless, and they can just come through and slice and dice as they please with their words and with their ideas. Your to-do list, the energy you're looking to interact with, is Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is a very stubborn ass, right? We've got a little donkey here. Knight of Pentacles, they see what they want, and they're a little bit calculating. They think about it. They don't move, though. The Knight of Swords moves quick, quick tongue, quick-witted, can move very quickly, but Knight of Pentacles, that's the sound they make when they're thinking, and even when they're communicating. Yeah, I see how this is all going to play out. I see. I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm not going to jump when you say jump. I'm not going to respond to these barbs. This almost, I'm getting a feeling with this Knight of Pentacles. You're like, okay, are you done talking now? You're not going to say that though. You're going to just think it like, wow, that is a lot of mean shit you are saying, or mean crap, excuse me, Facebook, YouTube. But it's just a very stubborn energy, calm energy, calm, planning, plotting energy. Oh my gosh, I almost hate to give advice to a Scorpio to be planning, plotting. Revenge is best served cold. No, I don't know about revenge. Let's not do that. I'm not a big revenge fan. I'm like, the best revenge is forgetting they ever said it and moving on with my life. But yeah, Knight of Pentacles. Communication, maybe thinking it through. Yeah. Moving, not much. Talking, not much. Keeping it to yourself, keeping your plans to yourself, keeping your ideas to yourself, keeping your intuition, what you want. You see it. It's yours, but you're going to be a stubborn donkey about it. And you're not really going to... This person may be saying jump and maybe expecting you to say how high, but instead you're going to say no. Or why? Explain yourself. What do you mean? And then say no. So that's what I see here, stubborn energy. Have a plan, be thinking about it, planning ahead, but you don't have to move. The Knight of Pentacles doesn't really move. Right? Donkeys can be so stubborn, you can, there's all sorts of stories about beating donkeys and they don't move. Like, that's not how you get a donkey to move, is by causing it a bunch of pain. So don't be moved by a beating or that's not what's going to move you. Page of Swords is where we're going. So we have maybe a mentee, maybe someone new coming in here, and they may be figuring out a new way to communicate. You not being moved by this person's verbal abuse or bullying behavior. And I'm just saying that, I don't always see that with the Knight of Swords, but I'm just saying that because we have the swords. Plus we have sort of a work situation with a lot of bees here, and you're unhappy. You're unhappy here. So it's painful. You're not enjoying this at all. So that's why I'm saying, because Knight of Swords, I don't always see that. Sometimes it's someone with just a lot of clarity. And it could be here too. It could be someone who can really size up the situation and tell you what's going on with it. But here, possible outcome, Page of Swords, someone learning a new way to communicate, someone learning new ideas, figuring out a new way of thinking about something. This is also a student vibe. So it could end up like, well, maybe you go back to school for a second degree or something like that. Like maybe, or you learn something, or you go about trying to learn something, or you meet someone, or you have a trainee you've now got to train, and it somehow changes the dynamic here. But there's something about being a newbie at something, communication, rational, but there's an awkwardness to the pages. There are rookies. They're a little bit awkward. They're a little bit... trying to learn how to wield this sword. Sometimes we give them plastic swords or wooden swords rather than actual sharp swords like the knight uses, of just practice tools and stuff like that. And Page of Swords, this could definitely be some book learning, reading some books about something, figuring something out, trying to understand something. So maybe you develop a plan here, but it's your plan. It's not whoever this is. It's not their plan. It's your plan. And then maybe you do some research about it, figure it out. You've got a little bit of intuition here to guide you. You do have some guidance here, but it's mostly inner at this point. All right. Well, Scorpio, if that was useful to you and helpful to you and resonated with you and made sense, then you can join me over on Vimeo. And the rest of y'all, I'll see you later.